AGS Ultimage, brought to you by Essential Oils and Essences. Infuse your environment with their natural Reiki and crystal-infused Yogini Girl essential oil sprays to lift the energy of your space and body. Available in 4 unique scents: invigorating citrus and herb bliss, soothing floral calm, intoxicating and sensual love, and classic clearing. Try one today.
Hey Geminis, this is Hal for HES Ultimage, and this is your channeled message for January 2016. Hey guys, for personal readings, you can go to hesultimage.com, spelled just like the channel. Readings start at just $20 and are a range of different prices and lengths for different types of areas of life. And they come through either emailed audio recordings or through Skype, so it depends on the reading, and you can check all that out there. Okay, now we're going to get started on your message. All right, so I'll get started by saying, okay, the really basic way of putting this for January for Geminis is don't sweat the small stuff. Right now, it's like you're being compelled to push yourself beyond the minute details, and that's really the majority of what the message is going to be. And it's pretty straightforward, I gotta say. Like, some people sometimes have some, like, messages that are a little bit more multi-layered and complex. Yours is really straightforward this week. This month. For me, it's a week of making the videos. But yeah, for this month, it's a lot more about, how little details are distracting you right now, and that you need to kind of push them out of your mind because it is more of a distraction than a help in January, okay? All right, so I just want to make sure I get you the key points too. I literally got something practical is going to feel really hard. So it's like everyday occurrences, because you're looking through it at such a microscopic level, is going to seem like everything you're doing is just seeming like this insurmountable task. And it's not hard at all. It's just because you're overthinking it and you're looking at it from too great of a magnification. Um, and, I have to add that it's natural for air signs to be that way because that's one of your, key elemental traits, is the idea of being an analyst and somebody who looks in detail. And that's not always a weakness, because I have to give you that. Like, it can be a strength a lot of the time. In January, it's really a distraction. Okay, so in January, we need to just like step back and, get out of our head more and stop looking at things from quite that close up, because it's only going to be, again, distracting you, holding you back, taking your attention away. And that's the other thing, because you're making things out to be bigger than they are in January when you're looking at them in that close of detail, and that, again, in that lens. Because that's the other problem. It's the perception thing in January that's coming through as the issue. And again, I don't think this is as hard to go through if you can just remember to release it. But like, humankind has a very hard trouble doing that anyhow. Okay, give me a second. Okay, all right, and this is the other thing I have to give you. Sometimes we have to just let things go in order to, okay, I have to just say it this way, succeed. Okay, sometimes we have to just let things go. Whether that's, the finest of details that, at the time we don't have time to do within our task, or, it's just this, yeah. Yeah, and again, it's only for January, but it's like literally I'm getting for January, it's like maybe you would like to quality check something 10 times instead of 5, and maybe you won't have time for that, Or maybe sometimes you would do some more fine tuning of a particular, project that you're doing, or with how you're taking care of certain things in your life, like maybe how closely you're taking care of your career or your family. Like that normally you would more fine tune that and be a lot more hands-on and a lot more, I'm thinking of the image of somebody who's like a surgeon or dissecting an animal, and the idea is that they would be able to look at every little piece and every little particle. Um, okay, that's going into physics with the particle thing. I would just say part of, the anatomy and that other analogy. But the idea is, I had to say particle because I know that's how small the details are that you're trying to look for, okay? And it's that distracting, okay? It's like this idea of these tiny little details are just a real distraction for you in January, okay? Now, okay, little things are to be respected, but not to be totally overstated, okay? So it's like that old fashioned saying in this analogy is the little things add up, but it's like in January they really don't, okay? And in January, you can't be adding up little things or you're never going to get anywhere, okay? So if you can just let go of the little things in January, you'll be much better off. Yeah. All right. Now, oh, okay. And I literally got, this is the type of thing that you have to kind of keep in check the way that, okay, let's say you sprain your wrist or like your wrist is really weakened by excessive activity. How you would put like a brace on it to keep all of that movement in check so it's less strained when you're doing more work, or your knee. Knee's a very popular one too, to place a brace on when you're having too much activity and too much strain upon that part of your body. It's the same with your mind this month in January, that all of those little details are like straining your mind, and you have to keep your mind, you know, in check, focused, nice and snug almost, so that you're not overstepping and reaching out too much because there's too much of it in January and you need to be able to release it to have a much better, you know, outcome towards everything you're doing, okay? All right, and it really is that simple for you guys in January. Like, you know, sometimes my messages will be like 10, 20 minutes, sometimes they're really short. It's really straightforward for Geminis. It's not too hard if you can just do the work to keep everything in check, all right? Okay, so that said, I will see you later.